Welcome to Read Ancient Languages. I'm Dr. Fausto Labruto. Today we travel to the Vatican in Rome, Italy, to study one of the most precious ancient manuscripts ever discovered. The name of this manuscript is Codex Vaticanus. The Codex Vaticanus is the oldest existent copy of the Bible. We are not certain about where this book was written, but we know it was written in the early 4th century. The Codex is written in ancient Greek. This shouldn't come as a surprise. Christian literature up until the 5th century is predominantly written in Greek, even in Latin-speaking areas, because ancient Greek was regarded as the language of literature and sacred texts. In fact, the entire New Testament was originally written in ancient Greek, not translated into it. Today we will take a closer look at the writing style of this book, the so-called book hand. The discipline which studies writing styles of ancient parchment manuscripts is called paleography. So this is a zoomed in image of the text which shows more in detail this beautifully crafted book hand. The first thing we notice about the text is that all letters are evenly spaced and that there is no separation between words. It's like a constant stream of letters. This is normal for ancient Greek. Separation between words came only in the Middle Ages. Also, there is almost no punctuation whatsoever. Then we notice that the entire text is written in uppercase letters. If we open a book of ancient Greek, a modern day textbook of ancient Greek, we will find words written in a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters. However, for the whole of antiquity and up until early Middle Ages, ancient Greek was written in all uppercase letters. This writing style is referred to as majuscule. Majuscule comes in different forms. Initially, majuscule was written with letters with corners at the intersections of each stroke, the kind of letters we will today refer to as block capitals. From around the 1st century before Christ, this more rounded and gentle book hand which you see here appeared, a book hand called uncial. For example, look at the letter epsilon here. This would be an epsilon written in so-called capital majuscule, while this would be an epsilon in uncial majuscule. It is more rounded. Uncial letters also come in different styles, and the ones in this particular text are called the biblical uncials. The main characteristics of biblical uncial bookhand are that the letters tend to be as tall as broad, making the rounded letters appear like perfect circles, like this omicron or this sigma. Another characteristic is that all letters have the same height, with only a few extending below the line, like this upsilon, this rho, or this phi. The biblical uncial is not particularly ornated and tends to lack serifs. The serifs are the tiny embellishments seen at the end of the pen strokes. In the Codex Vaticanus, we see a very slight tendency to serifs, like in the horizontal stroke of this tav, or in the diagonal stroke of this kappa. If you look at the pen strokes in close detail, you will notice that there are strokes of different thickness. Consistently, the vertical strokes are thick, like in this example, while the horizontal strokes are thin, like here. But the diagonal strokes, like here, are somewhat intermediate. The diacritical markings, such as accents and breathings, are there, but they were added by a later hand in the High Middle Ages, and they are different from what we would use today. For example, the accent on chi today would be placed on the iota, not on the alpha. Some breathings are there, but not all. Ancient Greek had a system of sounds called breathings. We distinguish the rough breathing and the smooth breathing. In modern typography, breathings would be half-moon shaped. But at that time, the breathings were symbolized by these T-shaped markings. An interesting feature of the Codex Vaticanus is that the letters were actually rewritten twice. The original ink started to fade already in the Middle Ages, so scribes had to patiently rewrite each letter of the entire Bible with new ink. You will be able to see this, for example, in this omega. If we zoom in even more, An earlier faded stroke can be seen under a more recent second stroke at this point. So now we have gone through the characteristics of this book hand, known as biblical uncial, and we can take a look at the text itself. The text reads, Kai aneuran ten te Mariam, kai ton Joseph, kai to brephos kemenon en te fatne, which translated into English reads, And they found both Mary and Joseph with the child lying in a manger, which is of course a passage from the Gospel of Luke, 2nd chapter, describing the birth of Jesus. So today we have looked in detail into one of the most precious books in the world, the Codex Vaticanus, the oldest copy of the Bible, written in the 4th century, in ancient Greek, in a book hand called Biblical Uncial. Today, this magnificent book can be admired at the Vatican Library in Rome. Thank you for listening to Read Ancient Languages. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram